To the girl on Facebook who commented hashtag All Lives Matter after deeming the protest she attended a hateful event Martin Luther King would have been ashamed of.
Hello, I'm a British person.
And I'd like to welcome you to the AJ Plus Poetry Hour. Today, 19-year-old Sarah O'Neill will treat us to a self-penned piece directed at critics of the Black Lives Matter movement, of which, despite being a foreigner, I am one. Now, I suggest that everyone pull up a chair and maybe light a cigar to calm the old nerves, because it is not an exaggeration to say that there exist poems on the topic of trench warfare that are less histrionic than what we are about to witness. Enjoy.
Call it an overreaction. Call it a riot, a violent protest. Call it everything but justified.
In 2015, the American police shot and killed 965 people. 90 were unarmed. That doesn't mean they weren't a threat or fleeing the scene or whatever, but they were unarmed. As an American, you're 3 times more likely to be struck by lightning, just so we all know where we are, yeah? Of the 90, 40% were black, which corresponds roughly with the amount of blacks arrested annually for violent crimes such as rape, robbery and assault. The proportion of arrests matches very closely with the proportion of offenders, as many criminologists have documented. And when you examine the fact that half of homicide arrests are of blacks, they actually appear to be somewhat underrepresented in the unarmed shooting statistic. So yes, Sarah, I freely confess that I find it difficult to describe a movement such as Black Lives Matter as measured and justified when it isn't.
Ask us to be polite, to stay calm, to voice grief with respect while our brothers' bodies are laid out on the street, sounding the alarm. Our bodies are threats well before they are human, and you still want to know the source of our rage.
You see, you have to ruin it, don't you? This is why people do not take Black Lives Matter seriously. Justice for Mike Brown? Is there anybody out there who still thinks Darren Wilson was unjustified in shooting this person? Mike Brown robs a store, assaults a police officer while attempting to steal his firearm, and then charges at said police officer whilst the latter has his gun raised. What more does a person have to do? This is almost a textbook scenario. I'd print this in police manuals as like, open and shut case, you can shoot this person, sure. What's more, even if you believe that he was wrong to do it, I don't know, maybe you're the kind of fucking idiot who thinks that he should have wrapped his hands and staged a sequel to the Rocky movies in the middle of the bloody street. There is zero fucking evidence that Darren Wilson is a racist, that he shot this guy because he was black. Grow up.
Oh, it's you. I was actually worried there for a minute.
Keep your hands up.
No!
Put them up.
I'll make a deal with you. I'll put one up.
Put the other one up.
Which looks better?
I'm warning you, Otto.
What are you gonna do, Archie? Shoot me? Gun me down in cold blood like a dog? Hey! If you want to settle something with me, then why don't you fight me? You're a man, aren't you, Archie? And let's fight like men! Come on!
All right.
All right, then.
Okay.
Okay. You look good, Arch.
That's right, Otto. I used to box for Oxford.
Oh, yeah? Well, I used to kill for the CIA. Now, get your hands up.
You fear our rage will happen across a storefront window, will happen across a corporate office. You fear the glass shards glittering under police helicopters. We fear your rage will drag our children into the streets and dance in the red pool beaming under street lamps.
Yeah, I am concerned about the rioting, to be honest. Not for my sake, you understand, it's not going to affect me. But it's fairly remarkable, some might say, that after the totally justified shooting of Mike Brown, individuals representing your movement proceeded to tear up much of their own city, damaging lots of businesses, including many owned by black people. Another reason why you have zero credibility. So imagine this. You're black and you found a business in the US. Off your own back, work your way up until by now you have a successful little jewellery store or whatever that you can be rightfully proud of. And then one night, it's pillaged and set ablaze by moronic gangsters wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts. It would be funny if that wasn't exactly what happened. Way to look out for the black community, guys. Whose side are you on again?
Tell you what it's like. It's like you're in a fight with someone and they're punching you in the face, right? Right? And so what you go and do is you punch yourself in the face.
All right, so what if he's not... I'm having a fight with this fictionary man and he's not punching me hard enough in the face to make me go mental and win?
Let's do an experiment, Barry. We'll have a fight right now, right? And when you start losing and you're not doing very well, you punch yourself in the face, go mental and start winning. Show them how that works.
I'm not going to punch myself in the face.
Why not, Barry? Barry, you've got to go mental. Go mental, Barry. Show them how it works.
No,
Come on, yes you are, Barry.
I'm not.
Pop the mask, Barry. Show them how it
This is not how it works.
Punch yourself, Barry.
I cannot decorate this pain for you. I cannot make a beautiful homage. I can't invoke hope in prayer. I don't know how to make you understand the occupation your ignorance has blinded you to. That black bodies are stopped and frisked so often, we might as well call our cities war zones. Every street corner a checkpoint.
So this seems fairly over the top. Wouldn't it be great if this person could meet up with, like, Wilfred Owen? And they exchanged battle poetry. He's just finished writing Dulce Decorum Est, and he's like, Sarah, tell me about war against the American Police Service. Well, Wilfred, this one time I saw a black man. He was probably a drug dealer, but that's not important. And the police, they shouted at him. And they told him to empty his pockets, and they even took his details, his name, address, and everything. What about you? Oh, me? Well, yesterday we were advancing across no man's land and my best friend, of 15 years, trod on a mine. I became drenched in his guts, and with his last words he cried, "Please shoot me. Would you like to trade places?" No, you're all right, Wilfred. Back you go.
Violence is not always a dead body. Violence can be a pat down in broad daylight because you share the same hue as suspect violence, is indicting the man who filmed the killing of Eric Garner, but not the officer that illegally choked the life out of his body while 5 others assisted in the arrest. Violence is convincing a jury that he caused his own death, that had he not been overweight, he would have survived. Violence is needing 6 officers to arrest 1 unarmed, non-violent man in the first place.
Eric Gardner was resisting arrest, which you may not do. However, it's true that I can imagine fairly easily ways in which that situation could have been handled better. It might be the one good point in this entire poem, and it's obviously terrible that he died when I don't think that he had to at all. But do we really expect the police to never fuck up? Is that the standard now? 99.9% of arrests are perfectly sound and efficient, but you want to base an entire movement around this one display of human error? It's clearly not something that happens as a routine. Does that excuse it or make it any less sad? No. But why chalk it up to racism and systemic abuse rather than simply a dreadful accident? Where's your evidence for any of that?
How can we accept a government that only applies the law to fill prisons with black bodies? How can we accept a government that permits and perpetuates violence against its people? The state traded white hoods for police uniforms.
And we're off the fucking rails again. Just insane.
Don't you get it? You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit. Snap out of it, Buzz!
It's statements like that which really make me feel like, why do we bother? What's the point of making progress? Because it won't be acknowledged. It doesn't matter what you do. You can, as a predominantly white nation, elect a black president for 2 consecutive terms. You can employ a number of respected and decorated black police chiefs. You can have black mayors and CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, and it's all for nothing. You might as well give up, because you're all the KKK, don't you know? This is hate speech. Pure and simple. I'm not an American, but as your cousin from across the pond, I'm offended on your behalf. This is just outrageous. I wonder if she'll look back on this in like 10 years or so and be like, wow, what a twat I was. Unbelievable.
And you want our marches peaceful. You want us calm. You want us quiet. Stop asking us to bite our tongues when we cannot guarantee our siblings safe passage to the corner store.
Okay, my little black cherub, it's time for some home truths. The reality is, you may well be killed walking to the corner store, but it won't be by a cop. Because do you know the one group who value the lives of black people less than police officers do? Black people. In 2011, over 6,000 black people were killed in the United States, 93% of those by other black people. The number of unarmed blacks killed by the police each year is matched every 2 days by the number of blacks killed by other blacks. The police are amateurs, guys. Face up to it, they suck at killing black people. Their heart's not in this. They need to spend more time with the Crips or the Bloods and learn from the experts.
It's crazy. It's wild. I don't play with these little boys out here. Also, I got refugee recognition. You see this cross right here? Mm-hmm. This cross means I was a murderer. It's not for decoration. If they deal with me, they got to come right. They got to know their homework when they fuck with me.
So what do you do then, mate? How do you survive?
Fuck, man, I survive, fuck, I get it, I live, you hear me? I take what I want, you hear me? Believe that, you hear me?
And where do you go to take what you want?
Fuck, I go anywhere, fuck. It could go down at any time, fuck. It could go down right now. You hear me? Fuck. You might want something I want. It's about me right now.
Yet you still want to talk about looting. Want to police our protest tactics. You want me to know that you would have cared about the tombstones this nation is hoarding if we hadn't blocked traffic. You think stopping trains is silly. You want us to march peacefully, to replicate your disfigured perception of Martin, but Dr. King said, riots are the voices of the unheard, and you will hear us now.
Well, you added that last bit, didn't you? If I remember correctly, King said that about rioting in the context of criticising members of the civil rights movement who resorted to it. He didn't approve, and had a famous public disagreement with people like Malcolm X over the very topic. I mean, it's come to something when someone who believes they're fighting for the rights of black people has to mischaracterise a genuine hero of that tradition. Martin Luther King would agree with me on this, no fucking question.
It is not enough for you to hold our dead in your prayers, to wish us love and light. I get the sentiment, but it won't keep my kin from becoming ghosts. I am not interested in resignations or remorse. I don't want apologies. I don't want your guilt. I don't want your tears. I don't want insistence on how not racist you are. I don't want to know how many black friends you have when you won't even risk the discomfort of calling out your own classmates.
It's just as well you don't want any of that stuff you listed, because you ain't getting it. I have nothing to apologise for. The overwhelming majority of US police officers have nothing to apologise for. Do some make mistakes? Yeah. Should they be held accountable? Of course. But making out like there is just rampant racism perforating a generally fine and courageous institution is a vulgar slur, really, on people who do their best to keep us safe. One day, when you grow up, you might have a job that contributes to society in a similar way. I doubt it, based on your Freudian levels of hysteria and bratty persona, but you might. Talk to me again in 20 years.
You just don't get it, do you? You've never lived out the aftermath. The empty seat at the dinner table. The now widowed mother with 6 mouths to feed. My kin are being sent to heaven well before God has requested their return.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's only black people who know what it's like to lose a family member or be a single parent. Come to the UK, darling, and I'll disprove that last one for you in 5 fucking seconds. But you notice how this poem has become more and more racist as it's progressed? First she was like, you need to call out your own classmates, as if this is a problem for whites to solve. Now it's white people don't know what it's like to lose a loved one. Where are we going with this?
And you want to know why Malcolm called whiteness the devil.
There we are. We're here. White people are Satan. Bound to get there eventually. Just itching to hit that note. Dun, 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 dun. Fuck this bitch. Fuck this racist bitch. We've struck gold, finally. We've been digging for such a long time as well, but it was worth it. The little nugget of racism has been unearthed. Every time. And that's all these people are about. It's their lifeblood. Well, fuck these people. I'm happy to discuss genuine instances of police brutality. I'm happy to address them. I'm happy to examine whether or not additional training or resources are required to improve the police service. But you know what? I ain't happy discussing any of that with racists. This white devil is giving you the finger.
Yeah!
All right! This white devil thing has gone far enough. Nobody messes with the dude!
All lives will matter when Black lives matter. How many more bodies will be enough evidence? How many videos of our last words? How many more must there be for you to finally call this a genocide?
Loads more. Truckloads more. What a fucking psycho. Genocide? Get fucked. Just a hint before I go. If the population of a community is rising each year, every year, then whoever's supposed to be carrying out the genocide of that community is fucking shit at it. You know, there are actually adults who I would consider to be friends of mine who will send me AJ Plus videos via Facebook or whatever, not as a joke, mind you, as a check this out, an interesting take on X. And as I say, the worst thing is, they're actually friends of mine. I will be seen hitting the town with these people. And the intellectual image I have in my head when considering them at this point is this, basically. Just zombie-like stupidity, relentlessly cannibalizing their own brains. By the standards of any poet, that was lame. Here's a slightly better one for you, but the review is just as apt. See you next time.
Right, so what do we do now?
Shall I do my war poem?
How hurt would you be if I gave the honest answer, which is, no, I'd rather French kiss a skunk?
So would I, sir.
All right, fire away, Baldrick.
Hear the words I sing. War's a horrid thing. So I sing, sing, sing. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Bravo! Yes! Yes. Well, it started badly, and it tailed off a little in the middle, and the less said about the end, the better. But apart from that, excellent.
Oh, shall I do another one then, sir?
No, we wouldn't want to exhaust you.
No, don't worry, I could go on all night.
Not with a bayonet through your neck, you couldn't.